If I said that I've been disappointed in the way that Mojang has been running Minecraft for the past couple of months, I'd be doing you a massive disservice. Disappointed doesn't even begin to spell it out as much as I'd like it to. Currently, myself and Michaelmcchill have 3 video scripts in the background that we've made, and every time we're about to push into producing that video, Mojang one-ups themselves. With nearly every single product that you purchase and every online service that you use, an agreement is attached. These might be a terms of service, general rules, guidelines, or what we call an end-user license agreement, otherwise known as a EULA. If you've heard this term thrown around with Minecraft over the past few years, that's not shocking. Some of Minecraft's most pivotal changes have happened not because of an actual coded piece of content, but because of a piece of paper behind the scenes. This paper details pretty much all the ways that you are able to use the game as a player. Sometimes alongside the EULA, we have usage guidelines. Minecraft is no exception to this. The Minecraft Usage Guidelines, or MUG for short, has recently been updated. And to put it simply, this kind of changes everything. In an attempt to protect the Minecraft brand, Mojang and Microsoft have put a seemingly tighter grip on a lot of Minecraft's key methods of monetization, usage, and even ways that you are able to play the game. When some mark this off as no big deal, and others claim it's the end of days, who is actually right? In this video, we plan on tackling that. Let's get right into it. The first thing that I absolutely need to say is I am not a lawyer. None of this video is legal advice. I'm not saying this because I'm attempting to protect myself, but rather because in the grand scheme of things, legal jargon can be extremely hard to understand. While these documents are definitely more dumbed down than others that I've seen over the years, that's not to say it makes it any easier to read. If anything, with multiple grammar mistakes, contradictions, and more, well, it's definitely not easy to understand this on a first go-through. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, we need to lay down some language and definitions. When I say EULA, I'm referring to the End-User License Agreement. When I say MUG, I mean the Minecraft Usage Guidelines. When Mojang says our name or the Minecraft name, they also mean the name of any of their games, taglines, features, events, or company identity. They also mean any names which are confusingly similar to their names. When they say their brand, they mean any names, related logos, fonts, textures, and any other distinctive characteristics of any part of their name and games. And when they say our assets, they mean the code, software, graphics, textures, images, models, sounds, and other audio taken from any of their games, and any videos or screenshots taken from their games. On the surface, for basic players, Minecraft doesn't necessarily have rules, but it does have community standards. Their values are pretty simple. Number 1, Minecraft is for everyone. Number 2, diversity powers our community. Number 3, playing with others should be safe and inclusive. And number 4, hate has no place here. Simply put, these are great guidelines, and ones that most, if not all games should strive for. With these standards, there are extra rules, but they basically boil down to we're inclusive, don't be a jerk, and don't use Minecraft's chatting or building features for hate, violence, bullying, fraud, or threatening others. Clean and simple. Where it doesn't get all that clean and simple is when we move from the EULA to the MUG. Right now, I want to start with the ways that you guys actually interact with the game, because frankly, some of these changes and rules could affect the way that you interact with and enjoy content. To paraphrase slightly, only because it's everywhere on the MUG and there's not exactly one direct best spot to pull from, Minecraft's target audience is children and minors. This isn't a shocking development, as the game went from young adults and adults playing the game in the beginning to literally being in thousands of schools around the world. But still, now we have it in writing. From this point forward, Mojang considers anything not appropriate for children as slightly problematic, whether that be sponsors, the theme of an event, servers, entitlement, advertising, the whole shebang. If your server, texture pack, mods, skins, anything is not appropriate for pretty much anyone 10 and under, you run the risk of a takedown by Mojang. In the EULA and Mug combined, there are literally 6 cases of the words "we reserve the right," followed by some form of take down any content, to decide if you are monetizing your server correctly, to suspend or ban, to stop any event, or to change our mind at any time, such as if people start to take advantage of our good intentions. Now, do I think that Mojang is going to flag everybody down and give them warnings, or worse, actual takedown notices? Probably not. But I'd like to offer a hypothetical. When driving a car, motorcycle, or any other kind of vehicle, one of the first things that you'll encounter as a new driver is a speed limit sign. It doesn't matter what the number on that sign is, but let's say it's 50 miles an hour. That's your speed limit. Your mom, dad, or whoever tells you, you can go just a little bit over. Nobody gets pulled over for that. So instead of going 50, you go 55. Maybe after a little while, you don't get pulled over, so you get a little more daring and push it to 60, and then you get pulled over. You didn't get pulled over at 55, so you feel like that's your limit. You'll never go 60 again, but regardless of opinion, you can be pulled over for going even a single mile per hour over the speed limit. Is Mojang going to give everybody a ticket for going 51 in a 50? Probably not. Could they? Sure. My fear isn't that they will give you the ticket, but rather in having the rules be so open-ended, they could actually just enforce it however they want to. Now, I really need to express how big this is. The next part we're going to be talking about is servers. Undeniably and understandably, Mojang has had a very well-documented history with the complications surrounding the monetization of servers and what that has meant for a very long time. If I didn't spell out how big this was, let me start now. Mojang have made this way more difficult to understand than they've needed to, but after a good long sit down, we think we understand it. On top of that, we have some disturbing confirmations. First off, let's go through the do's and don'ts. If you want to monetize your server, it must be appropriate for children. This means no gambling, adult graphic content, violence, explicit lyrics, or other unsafe material or mature content. You can sell your players cosmetics, but you cannot sell them capes. Doesn't matter what you call them either. Cloaks, whatever. Can't have it. You also must follow the constructed promotions guidelines. This means no built-in sponsors, corporate brands, products, services, pretty much anything that's not directly related to Minecraft's brand or things they haven't approved are technically off limits now. To do any of this, you must get permission from Mojang or Microsoft. You can sell in-game virtual currencies as long as they don't look like or have a name similar to Minecoin or any other virtual currency such as Bitcoin. They can't be cashed out for real-world value, transferred between servers, or converted into any real-world currencies. You also cannot hide dialogue prompts that are baked into Minecraft. EULA, warning messages, error messages, they all have to be seen. If you're going to sell anything to your players, you must provide a purchase history on a per-user basis. Servers must also require social influencers on platforms similar to, but not limited to, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch to disclose their relationship to the server when promoting it. They also must follow the guides published by the US Federal Trade Commission. All of this makes sense to me, but now is where we get into some extremely frustrating territory. A few days ago, after all of this blew up on Twitter, a handful of creators were reached out to by Mojang and given a heads up. Attached were answers and guidance to clear up the confusion. Frankly, even after, there was definitely more confusion. While I'd love to share everything that was said, we were told that we were not allowed to share pictures or any messages word for word. When asked if servers with player queues were allowed, we were essentially told servers that offer players paid tiers and having differing perks alongside each tier is against the Minecraft Usage Guidelines. Despite that not being anywhere in the mug directly, the closest thing that we found was you may make money by charging access to your server by asking for donations, so long as they don't offer the donor something that only they can use. However, you may offer all players server-wide rewards if donation goals are met. If you've never paid for anything on a server before, this may not sound like a big deal, but to server owners, this is massive. In every way that I've read this, to me, paired with the messages that Mojang gave, means that ranks on servers are dead. Once again, we were told to not share these messages word for word. The why is only speculative, but I assume it's so Mojang and Microsoft can enforce these rules when, where, and how they see fit. This wouldn't be such a big deal if not for the fact that some, if not most of Minecraft's biggest servers are offenders of these very rules. Ranks, advertising, in-game currency, gambling, hiding prompts. Most of the biggest servers do plenty of these things. To run, update, operate, moderate, sustain, and more, servers unfortunately need to have functions similar to these to sustain a profit. And with these guidelines set so arbitrarily, Mojang can come in and change things however they see fit, as often as they see fit, or worse, shut everything down completely. Whatever your opinion is on Minecraft servers and the way they monetize themselves, you more than likely have some sort of experience with them for better or worse. They do say, we reserve the right to decide if the way you are monetizing your server is consistent with our brand. In short, don't do evil things to players and you should be fine. Whether or not you want to take the risks is up to you though. Remember, how long are you willing to do 55 in a 50? Depending on the way that you enjoy Minecraft content or even produce it, these rules may affect how you watch or make what you do. One of the terms that I used earlier when talking about servers was constructed promotions. To put it simply, Mojang does not want Minecraft to become a hub for advertisements. This is included but not limited to commercial companies, corporate brands, advertising agencies, nonprofits, politicians, political action committees, governments, individual artists, and other entities are not permitted to use Minecraft gameplay in any way to promote or market products, services, events, campaigns, or brands unrelated to Minecraft without prior written approval from Mojang or Microsoft. Basically, this means that you cannot put a corporate sponsor, logo, brand, product, or service in a Minecraft world, mod, or server for promotion purposes. Essentially, this means that Minecraft tournaments where sponsor logos or likenesses are built directly into the game are banned. If you want to be technical, if you create a company with the purpose of creating Minecraft events, I believe it could be argued that you can't self-promote your company in your own event. In-game branded charity fundraisers could also be considered to be dead unless you get Mojang's permission as well. YouTubers and streamers also have changes here too. If you're going to have a sponsored segment in a YouTube video now, it needs to have the title cards, end cards, sponsorship notices, and other callouts be outside of the actual game content. Sponsors and callouts must also be suitable for children and minors and must not cause harm to the Minecraft brand. Anything that can be deemed confusing can be taken down by Mojang whenever they want. If we go back to the server section, there's even arguments to be had that Twitch/Patreon creator subservers are dead if you take the line, access to your server can't be limited to or controlled directly or indirectly by a player owning or having access to out-of-game content, products, or services. Seriously. To be fair, in the next line, they do say you can charge access to your server provided that the cost to access the server is the same for everyone. But do you want to risk it? What I really think they're referencing to here are NFTs, but the problem with their wording is that it's left so open-ended that, again, they can choose to enforce it however they want. Another section that's poorly worded is about charging viewers to see Minecraft content. They say that they're fine with uploading videos to websites like YouTube and making money by allowing advertising around the video, but they're not cool with creating a video and putting it on services like iTunes or Amazon Prime Video and charging viewers to watch it. The two scenarios they give do not answer the question on whether or not putting videos behind a paywall such as YouTube memberships, Patreon only, Twitch VODs requiring subscription, or anything else is okay, but it certainly doesn't sound like it anymore. I can think of plenty of scenarios where this could cause problems if this doesn't get worded properly. Once again, not word for word, but what Mojang told us in the attachment they gave us was, these routes of monetization are okay. But if that's the case, why not express that properly in the mug? Wouldn't that cause way less confusion? As far as the last one in this section goes, this makes the least sense to me, and definitely makes me a bit cautious about Mojang's intentions. In their own word, if you decide you want to share your creation with the community, you may do so. In fact, we are excited for you and can't wait to see what you're doing. When you decide to share your content with the community, whether you plan to make money off of it or not, you are doing what we consider to be a commercial thing. When you do commercial things, aka anything, you must follow the commercial usage guidelines. This applies, for example, if you want to set up and run any non-commercial blogs, servers, community forums, fan sites, fan clubs, news groups, events, and gatherings. By the way, this includes screenshots. Any screenshot that you ever posted to any website, whether that be Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram, whatever, commercial activity. This means a lot. Post an image they disagree with to Twitter, take it down. Have a blog and give an unflattering opinion of an update, take it down, you're harming the brand. Want to put your logo, web address, or overlay on top of yours, theirs, or someone else's gameplay? In their own words, they reserve the right to decide if your content is unique enough. For a game like Minecraft to inspire people to create and be an artist with no limits, and then to come in and decide? This hurts, Mojang. This hurts. The last two things that we're going to talk about are events and mods. Starting with events. Let's talk about in-person events first and establish the ground rules. Simply put, large-scale in-person events have basically been banned. If your event is going to have 150 participants or more, will have a sponsorship for the purpose of profit, isn't appropriate for all ages, uses Minecraft's brand or assets, or has Minecraft in the title of the convention, it can't happen. Whether or not Mojang would come at you for creating a block-themed convention and using pixel art as a theme, we're not sure what would happen. If you want to advertise your event as a Minecraft event by putting it in the description, secondary name, or secondary title, that appears fine, but you can't have more than 150 people and all of the other rules I said prior. They're fine with you and 148 of your buddies meeting up at your favorite pizza place to chat about and play Minecraft, but they're not okay with you renting a convention center and charging admission, inviting vendors, the works. And if you think they wouldn't shut down a convention, they did this exact thing to Minevention 5 days before their event last May, after people had spent money on hotels, flights, everything. To make things worse, in 2017, Minefair, Minevention, and Multiplay's Blockfest were considered official Minecraft conventions. This was, ironically, announced during Mojang's first ever convention to not be a convention, Minecon Earth, an event that killed all future official Minecon events from happening, and instead started a 6-year string of Minecraft live streams announcing updates with plenty of broken promises. As far as in-game events go, such as in-game concerts, fundraisers, fan meetups, online conventions, whatever, the event must now be completely free to view or attend virtually. You must obtain permission and clearances from the owners of any intellectual property that you use, you must comply with local laws, and everything you do with outside parties must fall within the previously discussed construction promotion section. And to top it all off, Mojang reserves the right to stop any event if we feel it doesn't follow the guidelines we've laid out here. Also, just a note, we can't sell tickets to events in-game, but we can sell access to servers? Why? Can people who sell access to servers not be guilty of making empty promises like can happen with events? Come on. And last but not least, mods. To put it clearly, Mojang states, By modifications or mods, we mean an original plugin that extends the functionality of Minecraft but does not contain a substantial part of our copyrightable code or content. We have the final say on what constitutes a mod and what doesn't. When you combine your mod with Minecraft, we refer to that combination as a modded version of Minecraft. If you want to distribute your mod, you may only distribute the mod itself and not a modded version of the game. The mod may also not create a play-to-earn function where players can make real-life money. The mod can also not be used to directly or indirectly verify whether or not a player owns out-of-game content, products, or services. Long story short, they don't want NFT mods to be a thing, kind of understandably. They also make it explicitly clear that mods that promote your or your client's corporate brand, products, services are banned. It wouldn't surprise me if mod creators began to get takedown notices if their mods are based around popular games like Pokemon, branded cars, or really anything, whether or not the person who made the mod was paid by the company. And if I may, I don't see why we can't sell mods, but we can sell cosmetics and access to servers. In their own words, you, the mod creator, only own what you created. You do not own our code or content. If the mods can't contain a substantial part of your code, why not allow for people to sell it? Mojang's immediate follow-up to this section of the EULA states, when we update our games, some changes might not work well with other software, such as mods. If that's the reason why we're not allowed to charge for our mods, what about servers? When the game updates, servers have to jump through hoops to make sure that the servers function properly. Just because servers get played more than mods does not mean that they should be inherently favored on the monetary side of things. I get it. More players online equals visible boosted player numbers, but we, the Minecraft Java Edition community, have asked for a modding API for nearly 10 years so we could ensure the easy updating of modifications to the game, and we have been ignored at every single turn, and you've allowed for Fabric, Forge, and Quilt to just do the heavy lifting for you. If Mojang allows for the marketplace to exist for Bedrock and refuses to create a safe space for sharing and selling mods, resource packs, skins, maps, experiences in Java Edition, then they should politely step aside if servers are allowed to sell cosmetics. I'm also not even sure where this falls with mods and allowing for purchases like cosmetics, because technically their wording in the EULA states you can do whatever you want with your mods as long as you don't sell them for money or try to make money from them. Mojang, you're making this needlessly harder than it needs to be. Not allowing for us to sell mods in Minecraft frankly feels like a tactic for people who want to make money from creating mods for the game to move over to Bedrock, which is just a straight up inferior platform, and create an inferior product. I ask, modders, is your artistic integrity worth it? At this point in the script, we've officially broken 8 pages, and I feel like I've barely scratched the surface with a lot of these problems. At the end of the day, Mojang says that these decisions are to protect the Minecraft brand, and I do understand that. My problem does not lie with the idea that Mojang wants to protect themselves, but that the rules are set up so that even if you're tiptoeing around eggshells, you are inevitably going to crack a few eggs. If Mojang wants guidelines to be followed and to protect their community for real, then they should have their rules laid out more clearly, especially considering many people have built their entire careers and financial stability around their product. Without the video makers, server owners, mod makers, resource pack makers, fan artists, convention owners, fans, and viewers like you, Minecraft would not be as big as it is, and I hope that Mojang have not forgotten that. My name is AntVenom, and I bid you all farewell. Thanks so much for watching.